You don't realize it at first. It starts with small things. The way he listens a little longer than most men. The way his silence feels heavier. Not awkward, but meaningful. Like he's measuring his words before giving them to you. And that's when it hits you. He's different. Not louder, not flashier, not chasing attention, but deeper. And suddenly, you're not just attracted to him. You're curious about him. Because romancing an older man, it's not about games, it's about understanding a language most people never learn. See, younger men often chase excitement. Older men, they crave peace. They've already lived through chaos, heartbreak, ego battles, and empty attraction. They've seen relationships fall apart for reasons most people don't even notice. So when you come into his life, you're not just another woman. You're either going to be his peace or his next lesson. And if you want to romance him, truly captivate him, you have to become something rare. It begins with how you make him feel when he's around you. Not how you look, not how many compliments you give, but the emotional environment you create. Because an older man isn't impressed by surface-level charm anymore. He's been there, done that. What he hasn't found easily is someone who understands him without him needing to explain everything. Let me tell you something most people get wrong. They think romance means doing more. More texting, more flirting, more attention. But with an older man, romance is often found in less, but deeper. It's in the pause before you speak. The way you hold eye contact just a second longer. The way you actually listen instead of waiting for your turn to talk, because he notices. He always notices. You want to intrigue him? Don't rush him. Older men move differently, not because they're slow, but because they're intentional. They don't fall for noise, they fall for consistency, for calm energy, for someone who doesn't bring drama into a life they've worked hard to stabilize. And here's where most people fail. They try to impress him, but what he really wants is to feel respected, not worshipped, not chased. Respected. There's a quiet power in the way you treat him when you acknowledge his experiences, without making him feel old. When you show interest in his thoughts, not just his attention, when you make him feel like he's not just desired, but understood. Romancing an older man also means understanding his past, without competing with. He has history, memories, maybe heartbreak, maybe regrets. And if you try to erase that or feel threatened by it, you'll lose him before you even begin. Instead, be the woman who makes his past feel like it led him to something better. You. There's something else you need to understand. Older men don't open up easily, not because they can't, but because they've learned what happens when they open. Up to the wrong person. So if he starts sharing parts of himself with you, his struggles, his fears, his failures, don't take it lightly. That's not casual conversation. That's trust. And trust is where real romance begins. Now let's talk about attraction, because yes, it matters. But not in the way you think. An older man isn't just looking at your appearance. He's observing your energy, your presence, the way you carry yourself in a room, the way you respond when things don't go your way. Because beauty might catch his eye, but emotional maturity, that's what keeps him there. You want to romance him deeply? Be someone he can relax around, not someone he has to impress, not someone he has to perform for, but someone who makes him feel like he can finally put his guard down. because that feeling is addictive. And here's something powerful. Older men value effort that feels genuine. A simple message that says, "I was thinking about you." A small gesture that shows you remember what he likes. A conversation that goes beyond surface-level topics. You don't need grand gestures. You need meaningful ones now. Let's be real for a moment. Romancing an older man also means being emotionally stable, because he's not looking for chaos. He's not looking for unpredictability. He's not looking for someone who turns small issues into emotional storms. He's already been through that. What he wants now is clarity, peace, and a connection that feels easy, not exhausting. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. If you want him to fall for you, you can't lose yourself trying to win him. Older men respect independence. They admire a woman who has her own life, her own thoughts, her own direction, because that's what makes your presence feel like a choice, not a need. And choice is far more attractive than desperation. There's also something incredibly important you need to remember. Romance with an older man is not rushed. It builds slowly, layer by layer, through conversations, shared moments, quiet understanding, and if you try to speed it up, you'll break something that was meant to grow naturally. But when you get it right, when you truly connect with him, it feels different, deeper, stronger, because it's not built on impulse. It's built on intention. You'll notice it in the way he looks at you, not just with desire, but with appreciation, like he sees something in you that's hard to find, something real, and that's the ultimate secret. Romancing an older man isn't about tactics. It's about presence, understanding, emotional depth. It's about being someone who adds to his life, not complicates it. Because at the end of the day, he's not searching for perfection. He's searching for peace, for connection, for someone who feels like home, not a challenge he has to solve. So if you want to truly romance him, don't. Try to be everything, just be intentional, be calm, be real, and most importantly, be someone he can trust with both his silence and his truth. Because when an older man finds that, he doesn't just fall, he stays. Outro. High CTR emotional close. And maybe that's what makes it so powerful, because in a world full of temporary connections and surface-level attraction, you become the one thing he didn't expect to find. Again, something real. So the question isn't just how to romance an older man. The real question is, can you be the kind of presence he never wants to lose?